Hey everybody, week 9 of the books. We got a new leader. I said it was going to be 6-0. I was wrong, but I had my best call ever, I think. Let's get into it. First matchup, me versus Drew. Obviously, I picked me to win. I was going to beat Drew, always was. I took a 0 from Justin Jackson, still beat him. I got lucky. Drew didn't set a DB, or he set a DB that was out, so good for me. Um, you know, I had Tannehill match Lamar Jackson, so that was good. Key players for me: Terry McLaurin, newly acquired Terry McLaurin, 17.5 points. Uh, awesome, awesome results. Other good ones for DJ Dallas, picked him up last minute, put him in over Chark. DJ Dallas got 10 points, but Chark got 20. So bad move, but 10 points was good. And the only other player who did really well for me was Devin White. So Devin White, 10.5 points. Glad to have Jamal Adams back on my team, but only scored 90 points and I won by 12. So doesn't matter how many you score, just matters that you get the win. Over for Drew. It's Top Guns. Julio. Julio had 11.6 with no Calvin Ridley. I thought he'd get more, but he didn't. John Brown. John Brown came back, got 10 points. And otherwise, another guy, Terrell Edmonds, linebacker from Buffalo. He got 12.5 points. So we both had three players who played good. Problem was, stinkers. Justin Jackson, for me, stunk. Played one play, went out with a knee injury, came back late in the game, never touched the ball again. It was a big fat 0. Otherwise, I wouldn't call anybody a huge bust. You want more, but whatever. Over on the other side for Drew, speaking of Justin Jackson, David Johnson got 16 yards and he went out with a concussion, so that was kind of a wash. But Scotty Miller, bust. He's looking like an afterthought there. I mean, Tom Brady threw to 3 people. Tom Brady looked awful. So, yeah. And then, of course, the DB that was questionable and got ruled out. So, 1-0. It was 25-11 coming into the week. So, 1-0 on that one. For me versus Drew. Next game was Yip versus Spencer. I called this one. Called Yip. Thought he'd win with ease. Unfortunately for Spencer, I was right. Yip won by 43 points. So that game was never in question. Top gun for Yip again. Mahomes, 39 points. What a super stud. Clyde Edwards-Helaire hasn't been hampered at all by Le'Veon Bell being there. In fact, Le'Veon Bell is almost droppable. Probably is droppable if you had somebody you wanted to pick up. Christian Kirk for Yip coming up big. He's like, I heard today on a podcast, he's like wide receiver 2 in the last 4 weeks. So Christian Kirk, really good. Evan Ingram got in the end zone, so he scored double-digit points. Kicker, 10 points. Harrison Butker, and then linebacker with 11, but then DB with 11. So really, really good outing for Yip. He did have, I'd say one stinker. Adam Thielen, you want more than 3.8 points, but when we get to fantasy MVP Dalvin Cook for Rich's team, then we'll show you. Over on the other side of the ball, two very big bright spots. Tyreek Hill, 24 points, and Keenan Allen, 16 points. That was basically half of Spencer's entire team. The other great player, Darius Leonard. So between those 3 players, we start 50. How many do we start? 10? And 3 players had over half his points. So, what a great trade for him, Darius Leonard. Now, looking at stinkers, Phil Rivers, 6 points. I feel for Spencer. Spencer's been struggling at quarterback ever since what's his name, Dak Prescott got hurt. By him, I'd be looking to pick up Goff, play Goff, but not sure he's watching the videos. Melvin Gordon stunk. Unfortunately, his tight end is now on IR with a torn ACL, so that's the second tight end he's lost for the season in 2 weeks. Corey Davis with a big 0.00. He's been great all year, and all of a sudden, the Bears totally shut them down. Otherwise, when you score 86. So 2-0, 2-0 in the week. Big upset coming up. Next game was Danny versus Dan for the Battle of the Daniels. Danny Why Not told me. He said he was going to do it. I didn't believe him. Against DK Metcalf and against DK Metcalf and AJ Brown and Aaron Rodgers. I didn't think he could do it, but Danny, why not? 126. Dan Evans 121. Losing with 120 is awful. Great trade for Danny. Herbert comes in 27 points. Big ones. Juju Smith-Schuster finally comes through. Jerry Jeudy has a breakout game. Chase Edmonds has 9. Yoo-Hoo Koo has 12.5. Roquan Smith has 12. Logan Ryan has 11. Having that good defense, his defense scored almost 30 points. Having that good defense makes such a difference. He won by 5, and his defense outscored Dan Evans' defense by 19. That's the biggest difference. Because if I look on the other side of the ball, studs galore. Aaron Rodgers, 37. Kamara, 11. Metcalf, 17. A.J. Brown, 16. James Robinson, 16. But stinkers. Van Der Esch, 4. Butler, 5. Burns, 2. DJ Moore. Where did you go, DJ Moore? Oh, right. Christian McCaffrey came back. Who's better right now? Christian McCaffrey or Dalvin Cook? Cook is looking amazing. Anyway, we're not on to that game. Hunter Henry, 3.3. Not great, but still scored 120 points. Beat most teams this week, but didn't beat Danny. So 2-1, called that one wrong. Let's remember that most of my picks were based around me being tied for the last playoff spot. So next game, Derek versus Jason Calder. Jason Calder gets off the snide, wins a game. I called it. I called Calder. Looking down through, Josh Allen comes back. 45 points. Fantasy, maybe the fantasy MVP of the week. But man, there's some good players this week. Josh Allen, Dalvin Cook, CMC. Looking down his list, he scored 106 points. 45 of them came from Josh Allen. Next best player, linebacker Cunningham, 9 points. So a lot of mediocre for Calder, but one great. Over on the other side, Deshaun Watson scored 29 points. That's a great outing. He got crushed by Josh Allen. Looking down Deke's team, CeeDee Lamb and Mason Crosby hit double digits. Nice to see CeeDee Lamb get back into it. Even disappointed Budda Baker. He always seems to get points, but looking down in the stinkers in the matchups, Zeke almost didn't play, but he played. Anthony Miller, 2.9. He had a couple breakouts in a row. It seemed like he was going to be okay. Cam Jordan, 0 points against Tom Brady. Almost had an interception. Gets 0 points for almost. Over on Deke's side, Philip Lindsay, 2. Tyler Lockett, 4. Noah Fant, 4. Marquise Brown, Devin Singletary. Those guys sucked it up. But called Jason Calder right in 3-1. What I thought would have been another game of the week, Devin versus Rich, was an absolute crushing. Devin lost by 40 points. Looking at Rich's team, Cam Newton, 24.5. Dalvin Cook, 40 points again from the running back position. Lord have mercy, MVP. Diggs, 12. Kelsey, 16. Played Amendola. He got 9. Down in defense, gets his 20 on defense. That's what he wants. you know, Rich is looking hot. He's moving up the standings. He's got 2 losses on the season. He's looking good. Could probably use Cooper Kupp in his life. All right, over on Devon's side, Russell gets outscored by Cam Newton. Russell did not have a good game. Too many turnovers. Will Fuller, though. Will Fuller comes up big, 16 points for Devon. Kicker, 11. And that's it. Looking at the stinkers, I mean, Derrick Henry didn't get in the end zone, so that sucks. He doesn't score double digits. Hopkins, though. If you got points for pass interference, Hopkins would get a bunch of points, but he doesn't. So he got 3. Mark Andrews. 9 weeks in, 3 good games for Mark Andrews. Not good enough. Not good enough, Baltimore. Smarten up. And otherwise, nothing special. But I picked Devon to win. So, 3-2 on the week. And my best call ever. Hahn versus Graham. This is probably the game of the year. All Graham needed was a touchdown by Michael Thomas. And the Saints blew them out and threw touchdowns to everyone else. And he would have upset Calder, or he would have upset Jason. However, now why do I say that was my best call of ever? Because I said Hahn would win. And it was showing up to be a crap kicking. But I said Hahn would win, and I said Graham would make it closer than you think. I said Hahn would win by less than 10 points. And the final score is 135 to 128. Studs. Kyler Murray. Is he the QB1 now? Or is it still Patrick Mahomes? Either way, great draft pick by Hahn. Smart move. Got a game changer. Really good. Gurley, 11.5. Devontae Adams, 23. Waller, 8. He played Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones got 10. Josh Jacobs, 12.8. Defense, nothing to write home about. 13 points. But hey, listen. Doesn't matter. He scored 135. Graham's defense, 24 points or 25 points. Scored 128. Just it is what it is. On the other side, and I really hit Graham on the head. I said Ben Roethlisberger was a key. Ben Roethlisberger scored 31 points. I said Christian McCaffrey was a key. Christian McCaffrey scored 27 points. And I said Sterling Shepard was a key. And Shepard got 6 points. So, I said Tim Patrick would do all right. He got 8.9. But on Graham's team, Tyler Bass or Trevor Bass or who knows what his name is, T-Bass from Buffalo. He had 14 points. He's been great. Blake Martinez has been great every week for Graham. So, I mean, looking at it, I was right. So I go 4-2. That puts me at 29-13. So picking up a storm. Waivers coming. Be interesting to see what people do. Spoiler alert, I don't have any waiver bids in this week because I'm hopeful someone's going to drop someone good. I think Spencer's going to drop Mike Davis. And if he does, your boy will be there to pick him up. All right? So, week 9's over. New leader in the books. Danny Wynot hops up into a playoff spot, but a lot of us only one game out. Looking forward to week 10. 2 more trades this week. Got a bunch of guys I like on my team, so let's go.